Hi, my name is Lexie Grace and I'm a stand-up comedian. I am not a doctor, I am not a therapist, I am not a medical professional, but I have been told that I give good advice. I typically do a thing called All Wednesday on Wednesdays where I share things that inspire me. And I was talking to more and more people and they were asking for me to kind of give some tips that work. So I asked on Instagram and on Facebook, like, hey, what are things that you guys have questions for me? One of my friends asked me, Lexie, how do you make art when the world is on fire? And because I am an optimistic person, I decided to put this video out today because I'm hoping that next week the world will feel a little less on fire. Maybe? Please? These are just some of my tips. Take them or leave them. My feelings won't be hurt. Number one, I recommend is if you're really feeling in pain, you're sad or you're angry or you're depressed and you don't know what to do, the first thing I suggest is that you actually channel that into the artwork. I've written some really funny jokes from places of real pain. There's a great quote by, I think it's Louis Armstrong, that says, I took the pain and I turned it into the blues. It's something along the lines of that. And I think how you do that is you start with that emotion of I am feeling so sad. And sometimes I'll just take out a pen and I'll just start writing a poem. And maybe I'll just write what I'm feeling and how I'm feeling. And I'll describe that feeling. So just putting stuff out there and on the page. And it just becomes an exercise also too in release. And then I find after I do that, I feel cleansed. I feel I then can work on art that maybe is not so much in my feelings because I just was able to exercise it and put it on this canvas or put it on this page or, put it on that stage. So now I can be free to create other art. Number two thing that you can do that's kind of in the same vein is there's this thing called morning pages. And it comes from Julia Cameron, who wrote the book, The Artist's Way. And basically morning pages is when you first get up in the morning, you write 2 or 3 pages about everything that you're feeling inside. Like literally you have to write 3 pages. And it could be as simple as I don't even know what I'm writing anymore. What is this? What? But it's basically you're just vomiting out all of your... It's basically you're filibustering your brain. So you're essentially tiring yourself out so that then you're I have no more feelings. I put them all down. And then you can get back to work again. Number 3, if channeling your feelings isn't working for you, I hate to say this, but sometimes it helps just to commit to say that you're going to do art and just grab prompts to start. Because when I first graduated college, I was a bit depressed. I fell into a pretty big depression. I just felt I didn't have anything creative to say. I didn't have anything creative to do, but I knew I wanted to create. And I felt I felt not a good artist. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to commit to making 1 piece of art a day. And I did, it was a bunch of poems that I did for the course of a year, 365. And the first 20 days, I don't think it was really good. I just kind of picked a line or a prompt, and I would just be I would see a tree, and I'd be okay, I'll write a haiku or I'll write a rhyming poem about a tree. Around day 21, I started actually having ideas, and I would get excited, and I would be oh wow, that's I started seeing possibilities. Basically, by you keep making art daily, even if it's mechanical at first, it'll train your brain oh, she's not stopping to make these art even with these feelings. So I guess we should just let her make the art. Number four, I think that if you can, go be with nature, because there's something so freeing about hiking or taking a walk, or even just doing a good 30-minute workout that then you feel free and you feel okay, I've exercised the feelings out of me, and you have the endorphins running, and that kind of helps to propel you to create art. Number 5, go back to something that you really love, like a favorite film or a favorite TV show or favorite book and read it, because that is going to inspire you and you're going to be like, oh man, that's how good art feels. And you're sometimes, like, for me personally, like during times when I didn't feel creative, I would go to the movies, and sometimes it would either be like seeing a good movie, I'd be like, oh, like I want to write something like that makes you feel something. Or going to the movies when I was depressed and seeing a really bad movie, I was like, wow, if these people can make a movie, where's my pen and paper? Lastly, I would just say I highly recommend too reading old work, because sometimes when you read like work that you've done before, you can go like, wow, I did a good job. Or you see things that you're like, oh, I could fix this, and I can fix this, and I can fix this. But either way, I find that old work sometimes is very inspiring and a good jump off point if you're like, I don't know what to do. Those are honestly all my tips and tricks for how you make art when the world is burning. If it didn't work for you, at least now you know what's in my head, but I hope it did. If it did help you, please like and subscribe down below. And I just wanted to let you guys know, if you have a question, please feel free to leave a comment and I will try to address it in a later one. This is a new series that I'm kicking off that I will be doing every Friday night. I can't wait to see you next week, and hopefully we'll have some good news to celebrate. Okay, bye.